I'm Jamie Mayfield, and we're going to dye some yarn with Kool-Aid. Now, I have a skein of bare yarn. It's soaking in plain water. Okay? Now, I like to have my colors run together because I love the prism, okay, which is the color spectrum, which is the color wheel. So I'm not going to bring this out a whole lot. There's quite a lot of water left in this skein, and it was just soaking in plain water for about 30 minutes or until it all gets wet. Now, I want you guys to see, this is how I lay it in the pan. This is just a 9x13 dish, and we can use all household items because we're just going to be dyeing with Kool-Aid, so it's not going to affect anything. We can use it again. If you use acid dyes, you can't keep reusing them. So what I'm going to do, and in fact, I think I want a little more water because I do want these colors to run together to make new colors. Like I said, this is just plain water. Okay, there's no vinegar, nothing. The mordant in this case is going to be citric acid, and mordant is what makes the dye stick to the yarn. Okay, you can soak the yarn right in this thing and then pour off the excess water. Let's put just a little more in there. Now, it's not going to be floating in water, okay? I want to be sure and get my edges. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. You probably want to have this ready before you start. What I did was, these are the colors of Kool-Aid that I'm going to use. I couldn't find green, so I picked up this Weiler's Light Punch. The first ingredient is citric acid, so I think it'll work. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell by my colors. I really like all the colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this packet. This is cherry, and it's red. My color order is going to be red. Then I'm going to use peach mango. Yes, that's orange. Whew. I want to sneeze. You're going to sneeze? Don't sneeze, Joyce. There's the orange. Now here's the yellow. The yellow is the weakest color of all of them. So it will be a thin line. Let's see, here goes the green. Think it's gonna work? Looks like the citric acid is white that they used. Green. Boy, I could have stood to have another one of those, couldn't I?
Well, you got one laying there. Cut it open.
Okay. Where'd my scissors go? This is a fun and cheap way to entertain your grandchildren or your children, as the case may be. All right, now, red, orange, yellow. Am I on blue? All right. I should have made my things wider, my stripes, because I only have blue and violet left to go. So I might have to use 2 blues. Good thing I had extra, huh?
It's cheap.
Yes, it is. There we go. Blue, blue, blue.
You can also make this look like birthday cake and make it like confetti sprinkles all over.
You can, but if you wanted it to be confetti sprinkles, you would dry the yarn a little more. You would wring the yarn out. I'm doing it to where I want the yarn to mix the color. All right, now, here's violet. Ugh, it looks black, doesn't it?
Yuck.
It does. Woo-wee.
That's interesting.
It is, isn't it? But it's purple. It's going to be the purple that I was knitting with today. All right, I don't really want to open a whole new thing up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little more water in because I want the dye to seep through, but I don't want it to run everywhere. So I'm going to have it sitting in about that much water. I want the dye to seep through all the way to the bottom of the yarn. If it doesn't, that'll be okay. Now, just so you know, you can use a chopstick or your finger. Let's push that dye down in there. I mean Kool-Aid. When my kids were little, this is how I got them to stop drinking Kool-Aid all the time. Okay, now, see, don't wipe, that'll come off in a couple days. I better use some paper towel because I don't want to dye my good dish towel. So now what we're going to do is just take a piece of saran wrap, stick it in the microwave. We're going to cover it really well because we're going to steam this yarn in the microwave. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to steam it 2 times. I'm going to throw it in here for 2 minutes. Oh yeah, my clothes dirty, don't get it.
Should I pause it?
Yeah, go ahead and stop. Okay, it's gone for the first 2 minutes. Now I'm going to, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the water, and you can see that it's almost clear. It's going to be cloudy because of the citric acid, but can you see that water in there? That means that the dye has set. So I do want to give it another 2 minutes because we want to make sure that the water is clear. Okay, so we've taken it out of the microwave after the second 2 minutes, and we're going to check it and see. Okay, you see how there's no color in that water?
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? That's because the citric acid in the Kool-Aid is the mordant, and it has made that stick to the wool, made the color stick to the wool. Now, Kool-Aid will not dye plant fibers like cotton, but it will dye animal fibers. So let's go over here and we're going to rinse it off. Alright, I'm just putting cold water in there so that I can touch the yarn. I didn't let it cool off for as long as it should have, but that'll be alright. So we know that the dye is all adhered to the yarn, so we don't have to worry about turning our fingers different colors. Or maybe I should worry about my red finger turning the other parts of it. Alright. Obviously, this should rinse clear. Now wait till you see this yarn. It is going to be so beautiful knitted up. It has to dry first. So there you go. Then we're just going to hang it up and we'll let her dry. Have fun. All right, here's what it looks like being knitted. And here is what it looks like knitted up. Enjoy. Happy dyeing.